All right, fans at the bell, there is Bob Orton Jr. as we're going to watch him in a match right here against John Bonello. And the crowd in the arena picking up the chant to Bob Orton, "We want Flair, we want Flair." And of course, fans, we'd like to see Ric Flair also. Bob Orton, Dick Slater collected that $25,000 bounty right here on Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from the champion Harley Race when Race had a match with Ric Flair. Well, Flair, we understand that Flair, he was seriously injured, and just to what extent we don't know. We haven't had a report on Ric Flair. We've been unable to get one. We do know he's home with his parents. His father is a doctor. We understand that most likely, though, and fans, this will be a great blow. We understand that most likely Ric Flair will not wrestle again. So he was severely injured in that match. And right here, one of the men that did it, and of course, that was Bob Orton Jr. And when Ric Flair looked up and saw Orton, he saw, of course, what was a friendly face to him, and he was completely off guard. Now Orton with the arm on Bonello. High to the air, got a lot of pressure on the arm. Bob Orton and Dick Slater, $25,000 richer from Harley Race after having injured Ric Flair. Well, they tried to put Flair out of wrestling, and they may have succeeded, fans. Bonello with a fireman's takedown. Good move, but rolling right on through it and keeping that arm comes Orton. Orton, who's a big one. He's a strong, rough, tough individual, and he can be just as mean and rough as anybody, and I think he proved that in that match when he and Slater came in after the match and got hold of Ric Flair. One thing he certainly did, and that was prove that he couldn't be trusted. Hard down on the arm now, Bonello. Referee Stu Swartz right up over the action now, talking to Orton, being sure he has a legal hold all of the way as he backs Bonello now to the corner. Fans, a little later, right here, you're going to see the Assassin against Bugsy McGraw. It'll be good to see Bugsy in the ring. Wahoo McDaniel. Also will be here a little later on. Scott McGee will take on Dory Funk. Dory Funk Jr. and then Steve Muslin against the U.S. heavyweight champion Greg Valentine. Bonello high to the air on the shoulder now of Orton. Orton just bounces him up in the air hard with that midsection right down on that shoulder, and again, down comes Bonello. Orton now is going to turn him around. Watch out, he's got him over the ropes, drops him right down across that top rope. All of the way to Bonello from high in the air, down across that rope. Now with a knee, as again, Bonello is near the ropes, over in the corner, but Orton just keeps driving that knee right to the midsection, lifts him off of the mat, right by the tights, drives the knee again to the midsection. And again, the crowd picking up that chant on Orton. A running, diving right hand, that one right to the jaw of Bonello, and Bonello now in trouble as he's slow getting off of the mat. Orton measures him for that right hand. A lot of power behind it. It was a downward thrust right. He had a lot of good power behind it. Bonello trying to fight his way out through the ropes and off of the apron of the ring, down on the floor. There's Bonello. He hit that concrete floor hard. Now here's Bonello onto the apron, trying to get back into the ring, and Orton meets him with a knee. Bob Orton Jr., who really had the fans turn against him for what he did to Ric Flair. And rightfully so, fans. It was a very sneaky thing that Orton and Slater did to Flair. High to the air is Bonello. Orton holds him right up there to the point. Hard down with that suplex. He's got him covered now with a press and backs off. He turns away and backs off. Orton had Bonello down. He had a count of one on him. All he had to do was hold him there for 2 more counts, and he just backed away from it. He's going to get him up for another suplex. No. He sets him in that corner on that rope. I don't know what Orton's trying to prove right here. He's trying to prove something and trying to send a message to somebody. Onto the ropes, off of the ropes now. With a suplex goes Orton. No way Bonello could possibly get up from that. 1, 2, 3. Orton suplexed him. Out of the corner, and here's one of those suplexes. And hard down goes Bonello. Bob Orton Jr., our winner over John Bonello, and we'll be back. We'll have more right after we take